Tonight, Broken Hill Police warn antisocial behaviour won't be tolerated, and Port Augusta residents call for city safe patrols to be reinstated.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening. Broken Hill Police have issued a strong warning that drunken behaviour will never be tolerated. It comes after a man allegedly assaulted and spat at officers during an arrest over the weekend. Lachlan Itter has the details.
Police say they were called to Oxide Street at 1 a.m. on Saturday to break up a fight when a man allegedly turned on officers. Police say while they were dealing with another matter, a 19-year-old man began fighting police, resisting arrest and kicking officers.
When he arrived at the Broken Hill Police Station, he further assaulted the police. He spat in the officer's face while he was being removed from the police vehicle.
Thankfully, no officers were injured in the altercation, although extra medical precautions are being taken.
There's testing that's conducted with the officer that was spat in the face.
The 19-year-old man charged with a number of offences including resist arrest and assault. Police say this kind of behaviour is all too common but won't be tolerated.
We combat it on a daily basis. It's something that we deal with, we're aware of it and we treat it as a risk when we go to these jobs.
Officers warning they'll continue to come down hard on any antisocial behaviour, particularly around the St Pat's races next weekend.
We'll have an increased high patrol presence and policing presence in general. We'll have plainclothes and uniformed police in the streets.
The man allegedly responsible for this latest incident has been granted conditional bail and will face the local court later this month.
An injured man has managed to raise the alarm and get help 6 hours after falling from his motorbike at Silverton. The 57-year-old man managing to find mobile phone service at 10 o'clock on Saturday night. Police, paramedics and the man's family locating him near the old tip. He was taken to hospital with a suspected broken leg. Police praising the man for his efforts to reach out, saying the outcome could have been far worse. Port Augusta residents can expect to see an increase in military vehicles travelling through the city this week. Army personnel are making their way up to Kultana from their RAAF base at Edinburgh for a number of training activities at the site. It is expected their presence will be increased across the city until March 9. Residents are being asked to stay alert on the roads during this period and drive safe. A petition to bring back Port Augusta's city safe patrols was handed over to council today. Organisers say the community's concerns around antisocial behaviour in the city need to be heard and acted on quickly.
It's been a long time coming, but now this petition is in the hands of the City Council. Launched earlier this year at the height of antisocial behaviour issues in the city, more than 1,100 locals and visitors signing this petition, calling for the return of the City Safe patrols.
I've been really pleased at about how many people have responded to it, but we also need to have this program back to help our community become whole and safe.
This Port Augusta resident has been the main driver behind the petition to resurrect the program. She hopes the final tally will encourage them to bring it back.
We know we're not safe at the moment, and I'm asking the community to support the only program that kept our town safe.
Council's CEO says they will now be following their procedures.
When you have a petition of 1,124 people, it represents a view of the community that they actually would like the matter considered by council, and as part of the process that's very much welcomed.
The petition will be tabled at the next council meeting. Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Golf News.
2 Broken Hill schools have received almost $1 million each as part of a state government COVID stimulus. Students and the public set to benefit from the projects, which includes an upgrade of a local eyesore.
Summer-proofing and smoother surfaces. Broken Hill High School set for a sporting upgrade.
A big thing with our Student Representative Council at the moment that we don't have enough sort of shade at areas in the school.
That will soon change. The school given $930,000 for new courts, including an undercover area.
They will be sort of set up as multi-purpose, so they'll be switched between basketball and netball, and then our volleyball courts here will get a resurface.
Dry and overgrown, Siebler Park will also get a makeover. Burke Ward given around $940,000. The current oval will be dug up and new grass laid, with irrigation and new fencing to be installed.
It's all about making the region stronger, safer and a better place to live.
The fund's part of the $120 million regional renewal program. The COVID stimulus package, part of what the state government says is the largest investment in public education infrastructure in the state's history.
The government are spending, investing around $7 billion over the next 4 years. And so this is one program of many in that space.
This funding only covering 50 to 80% of project costs, with schools footing the rest of the bill. Lachlan Itter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Still to come tonight, the ban on single-use plastics comes into force in South Australia, and locals urged to give an abandoned pet a brand new home. Welcome back. South Australia's historic ban on single-use plastic products is started today, with plastic straws, stirrers and cutlery now prohibited from sale. Local businesses say they're excited about helping create a more environmentally friendly future.
Switching from plastic to paper, it's an Australian first and our region's businesses are thrilled to be leading the way.
We all need to put in our own individual effort to help the state, the country, the world as a whole.
A range of plastics have been banned from sale, including straws. There's talks of other items, including coffee cups, being added to the ban in the future.
Plastic straws, plastic cutlery and also drink stirrers. And we are ambitious for this legislation. We're going to add items to it over time.
The owners of Port Pirie's Little Bean Cafe say they've already tried making a transition before today's ban to create a more environmentally friendly future.
Yeah, the transition will be really easy. I've got plastic straws ready to go. We've got recyclable coffee cups. We've basically had them all along, which is really good because we like to help the environment.
There'll be some exemptions, with those needing straws for medical purposes to still be able to buy them from pharmacies. Businesses or manufacturers who don't comply could face heavy fines.
The maximum penalty is $20,000 for the large-scale manufacture and distribution of these prohibited items.
More information can be found at Replace the Waste website. Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Golf News.
A Whyalla businesswoman passionate about the environment is taking charge in this year's Clean Up Australia Day event. Green Economy store owner Emma Wake is busy preparing for the big day in a bid to give back to the community.
Packing the essentials for the upcoming event, this passionate businesswoman on a mission to do her part in helping save the environment.
I'm really excited. I love it. It's a really unique opportunity for the community to get together and to show how they appreciate the environment.
This coming Sunday, Whyalla locals can take part in the city's Clean Up Australia event. Emma Wake planning on handing out special rubbish bags on the day. However, locals will need to bring their own protective wear.
People are really encouraged to bring their own gloves, and so just gardening gloves, anything that will stop contact, but also you can bring tongs, things like that for kids.
The Whyalla Council, along with Azapati Butchers, supporting the event, providing a free sausage sizzle for those who help clean.
Work up an appetite.
Veolia also getting involved, donating a skip bin to be filled.
Cups, takeaway items from fast food projects and things like that, straws.
Those interested in taking part can head down here to Wilson Park this Sunday at 9:30 in the morning to register and get cleaning.
Waste is a big problem in our community and nationwide, so I think it's something that we all have to consider and how we can do our part.
Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Port Lincoln's RSPCA is urging people to consider adopting a pet as part of a month-long campaign. The charity teaming up with Petstock to help find the perfect home for their furry friends.
Meet Choc. He's just one of a dozen kittens up for adoption at Port Lincoln Shelter. Can be a little bit shy at first, but it doesn't take long to warm up.
The playful cat is just 3 months old and is waiting to find his forever home, and he may just find it this month.
We're teaming up with Petstock to encourage people to consider adopting a new pet.
The month-long campaign helping our furry friends find their pack.
Obviously, the more animals that can come through the adoption, it's better for the shelters as well.
They come vaccinated, desexed, microchipped, up to date with parasite prevention, and you've also got the perk of being able to do something wonderful as well.
Last year's campaign saw more than a dozen animals like Choc here get adopted in Port Lincoln, with volunteers hoping to match that this year. And with the kitten season fast approaching, staff are desperately trying to free up cages.
We're always busy, but we're quite especially busy this month.
The 13th of March is our in-store adoption day, where the RSPCA will be in store with some cats and kittens that people can come in and adopt.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us. We take a look at the latest piece of technology set to help fight bushfires. And Port Pirie Council unveils its newest cleaning aid. The first trial of a new cutting-edge piece of technology designed to aid in the battle against South Australia's bushfires has been hailed a success. The equipment set to assist in future bushfire outbreaks across remote parts of the region.
It's been called the Firefly. This drone, the latest weapon in helping assist South Australia's battle against bushfires.
And we've seen the devastating impact bushfires can have for those that live in bushfire-prone areas.
Currently in its initial stages, the new technology is a partnership between the RAA, the state government and private enterprise. Taking off into the air for the very first time, the specifically designed sensor stack able to capture useful data from the ground below.
First of its kind that's ever been used to collect data that can be visualised to mitigate bushfire risk. Things like foliage density and moisture levels, which will help us better understand the risk of bushfires before they start.
The RAA says the trial is the first step in evaluating the possible use of the drone in aiding emergency services and the wider community during a bushfire event.
We're always looking for opportunities to use technology to improve our service delivery.
Safecom will work with Metro and Country Fire Services, as well as emergency service crews across the state. They say the technology is already showing potential benefits.
Granular amount of information that can enable us to inform resource allocation. It could, in the medium to longer term, inform fuel reduction programs. So multiple uses in that prevention and preparedness space.
Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Broken Hill Synagogue has marked its 110th birthday with an open day. The historic Wolfram Street building was consecrated by Rabbi Cohen in 1911.
They had nowhere to pray since 1885. They just didn't have the money to build. So the Christian Society helped put money in.
The building now operated by the Broken Hill Historical Society, this year also marking 30 years since it became their headquarters. A Cummins artist has won the People's Choice Award for this year's Port Lincoln Art Prize. Leah Jericho's painting a fishing boat, the Tacoma, fetched more than 25 votes during the month-long exhibition. The vessel was Australia's first purpose-built tuna boat, now moored in Port Lincoln's marina. Second place went to Bob Ramsey for his #Leaf series, while Olivia White was awarded third. Port Pirie Council is the owner of a new street sweeper set to keep the town clean. The high-tech machine is a first for South Australia, including a GPS tracker that will communicate information back to residents.
A new sweeper set to hit the streets and it's already creating a buzz. This high-tech machinery has a range of additional features, including an engagement system in a South Australian first.
If they come across a tree that needs to be trimmed to allow the road sweeper to obviously get into the curb, they can just identify that by hitting a single button, and that will then head back to the depot and alert the appropriate crews.
It's helping the environment. We've set this truck up to put out enough water to cover it, so it's not overusing water.
Council CEO claims Port Pirie needs extra attention on its street cleaning to keep lead dust to a minimum.
But also, we just want to have a better presented community. Our previous sweeper was quite old. This new sweeper has got new onboard technology. It's going to be able to provide us with more data.
Residents may notice the new sweeper, but creators say most of the dirty work happens behind the scenes.
This unit here in Port Pirie will now pick up in and around about 1 million tonnes of waste out of the gutter, which with respect, most of the community don't see that, and they don't need to see that. It'll do a lot of work in keeping the city clean.
Shari Hams, 7 Spence Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. We wrap up the weekend's cricket action, and Alex Sykes will have the latest weather details. Hello again. Tennis players flocked to Crystal Brook over the weekend for the town's annual tournament. 66 children participated in a round-robin competition on Sunday morning. The day started at 9, and some players travelled from as far as Adelaide, the York Peninsula and the Eyre Peninsula. Charlie Millard and Charlie Dickerson won the under-16s, and Will Trengrove and Harry Millard took home medals for the under-14s. This competition has been running for 14 years, and organisers say it's great to promote tennis in the regions. Turning to cricket now, and the final rounds of the regular season are taking place across the region, with many teams hoping to secure a place in the finals. Our reporter Katrina Musson has this week's cricket wrap.
In a tight game of cricket at Memorial Oval, Southport had a thrilling 2-run win over Wandera. Southport batted first and made their way to 2 for 87, before losing their next 6 wickets for just 30 runs, to eventually finish on 8 for 130. Jake Walsh's 36 and Mitch Alchin's 22, the best for Southport. Wandera in reply lost Thornton early for 10, before 40 from Paddy McNamara looked to have put them in control. It came down to the last over, with Wandera needing 5 to win, with 6 wickets in hand. A wicket first ball when Athanasius holed out for 27 gave Southport a sniff of unlikely victory. Just 2 runs in the next 4 balls, then a wicket. The final delivery seeing Southport book their place in the grand final. Wandera will face Props in next week's preliminary final. Heading over to Port Augusta, and the last round before finals saw bottom place West Augusta take on Quorn. Quorn batted first, eventually smashing Westies by 119 runs. The other match saw topside Central Stirling fall short to South Augusta, losing by 10 runs. Over to Whyalla, and Centrals defeated Rupina by 78 runs, while North Whyalla were too strong for West Whyalla, winning by 143 runs. In Port Lincoln, Charlton secured a win over Todd River, chasing down the target with 8 wickets to spare. Tasman defeated Lincoln South by 2 wickets, and Southern Air were too strong for Waybacks, securing a win by 9 wickets with 30 overs to spare. And finally, across the border at Broken Hill, in a close match, West defeated Centrals by 1 run to secure their position in the grand final. And that's all for cricket. We'll be back tomorrow night with a wrap-up of the region's other sports.
Time to take a look at what's happening in the weather. Here's Alex Sykes.
Thanks, John. It has been a cloudy start to the week from 3 p.m. today. Port Augusta was 32, Whyalla 26 degrees, and Cleve reached a top of 23. Looking further out across the region now, Port Lincoln and Kadina both 23, Broken Hill sunny and 31, Port Pirie 32, it was a top of 28 in Woodner, 27 in Clare, a top of 38, and mostly sunny in Cooper Pedy, and partly cloudy and 25 in Adelaide. To the satellite image now, cloud moving over Western South Australia with a trough is triggering showers and thunderstorms. Low cloud clipping the far southeast near a trough is causing the odd light shower. Clear skies elsewhere under high pressure and a dry air mass. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. Southeasterly winds 15 to 20 knots, seas around 1.5 metres, and south to southwesterly swell between 1 and 2 metres. Mainly fine conditions across the Gulf tomorrow. Port Lincoln 22, clear forecast to reach a high of 23, Woodna 29. Whale is set to top 26, Port Augusta 31, Kadina 27, Port Pirie 30 degrees, clear to reach 26, and Broken Hill set to reach a top of 29. Taking a look further through the week now, partly cloudy across the region except for on the York Peninsula and in the south. Cooper Pedy to have the region's top of 38, 33 in Port Augusta, sunny in Kadina and Adelaide. Heating up on Thursday, sunny across the region, apart from in Port Lincoln, where it'll be partly cloudy and 24. Cooper Pedy to reach a high of 36, 28 in both Whyalla and Broken Hill, 32 in Port Augusta, Whyalla 28, and a top of 31 in Port Pirie. And similar conditions on Friday, 35 in Cooper Pedy, Port Lincoln set to reach a high of 24 degrees, 31 and sunny in Port Pirie, a degree cooler in Broken Hill, sunny there also, and a cloudy 27 in Adelaide. So we are looking at a pretty mild start to the week, John. That's all the weather from me for tonight. It's back to you.
Thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news this Monday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later, and we will be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.